The United States has announced the return of USS Barry, a guided missile destroyer, to South China Sea to carry out security missions, sparking fears of an open conflict in the disputed waters. The reintroduction of the Arleigh Burke-class vessel was unveiled on Saturday on the U.S. Pacific Fleet's official website. According to the statement, the USS Barry will help promote peace and stability in the territory. Commander Chris Gall, Barry's commanding officer, said, "A continued presence in the South China Sea is vital in maintaining a free and open Indo-Pacific. The freedom of all nations to navigate in international waters is critically important." Barry's transit of the Taiwan Strait yesterday ensured the right and instills the confidence of all nations to trade and communicate in the South China Sea. It is incredible the number of fishing boats and merchants who pass through and conduct their business in these waters every day. To accomplish the mission safely, effectively and professionally, Barry constantly works as a team, and is always alert and communicating. U.S. Navy guided missile destroyers, in the Destroyer Squadron 15, the largest U.S. of its kind, have constantly stayed in the territory. This month marks the 5th time, of the 2020 deployment, that Barry has carried out routine missions in the region. This past April, USS Barry conducted a freedom of navigation operation around the Paracel Islands, and then rendezvoused with the USS America Expeditionary Strike Group for operations in the South China Sea. Whether operating independently or as a part of a larger group, USS Barry serves as a highly visible symbol of the overwhelming force the United States can deploy to defeat aggression. The reveal comes as the U.S. called on other nations to oppose China's dominance in the disputed waters, after Beijing built military bases on the atolls. David Faith, Deputy Assistant Secretary for Regional and Security Policy and Multilateral Affairs, at the U.S. Bureau of East Asian and Pacific Affairs, said Washington would increase the number of shipwrighter accords to counter China's aggressive behavior. In some areas, such as the Northern Pacific, stateless fishing vessels display characteristics of Chinese registration. In addition, China's maritime militia, estimated to include more than 3,000 vessels, actively carries out aggressive behavior on the high seas, and in sovereign waters of other nations, to coerce and intimidate legitimate fishers in support of the Chinese Communist Party's long-term maritime strategic goals. Under the Shipwrighter Agreement, one nation's authorities are allowed to board law enforcement vessels, or aircraft of another country's while on patrol. The move to police illegal fishing created concerns among several allies of the U.S., who are members of the Association of Southeast Asian Nations.
And countering extremism. On maritime security, open sea lanes are critical to sustaining the region's dynamic economy. The United States would like to help all our nations see more, share more,